Current digital reputation, from LinkedIn endorsements to five-star reviews, costs absolutely nothing to manufacture. Because there is no economic weight behind these signals, they operate as cheap talk. When positive feedback is free to produce, creating thousands of fake accounts becomes a highly rational strategy. Reputation farming and sybil attacks, where a single user commands a massive network of fraudulent identities, inevitably overwhelm the system. Without native, verifiable trust on the internet, strangers cannot safely exchange value. Every financial transaction must instead be routed through centralized gatekeepers who extract steep rents just for providing a baseline level of security. This creates a zero-sum environment. Even the credit scores we rely on in the physical world are heavily skewed. They measure an individual's historical profitability to lending institutions rather than their actual objective trustworthiness. Traditional venture capital attempts to bridge this trust deficit through sheer financial mass. Firms rely on massive reserves of fiat currency to absorb the extreme risks of early-stage investing. Because deploying physical capital is slow and dangerous, venture capitalists isolate themselves. They cluster in biased, tight-knit insider networks to share deal flow, resulting in massive syndication costs and locking up limited partner capital for up to a decade. These walled gardens are reinforced by institutional silos and cautious regulators who refuse to interoperate, pushing the walls higher and widening the trust gap. Current reputation metrics are far too weak to secure an open financial market. If we want money to move efficiently, it needs a completely new, mathematically sound substrate to sit on. The solution requires a rigorous architectural approach, outlined in the 2018 Calcaterra call framework. They proposed separating a user's reputation into hyper-specific expertise tags, rather than using a single generalized score. These specific units of reputation are called SEM tokens. To maintain their integrity, some tokens must be strictly earned through accurate predictions. They can never be bought, sold, or traded on an open market. The system operates through a mechanism called a validation pool. Subject matter experts wager their earned reputation tokens on the quality of specific proposals. When the outcomes are verified, the experts who voted incorrectly lose their stakes, and those tokens are distributed to the experts who predicted correctly. This creates a strict mathematical threshold for honesty. To successfully corrupt a vote, a malicious actor would need to spend at least twice the total accumulated reputation of the entire system. By introducing real economic stakes to validation, the system triggers what game theorists call the folk theorem. It forces human behavior out of a zero-sum extraction loop and into a positive-sum, highly cooperative equilibrium. This mathematical approach extends into a full-stack architecture designed to resolve the decentralization trilemma, delivering security, scalability, and true peer-to-peer trust. The first layer is the anchor protocol. Here, reputation staking completely replaces capital-weighted proof-of-stake mechanisms, ensuring that network validation is driven by proven expertise rather than whoever holds the most wealth. Next is the Sockpuppet protocol. By requiring computational effort and verified historical accuracy, it destroys the economic viability of manufacturing fake digital identities for profit. Finally, the Persona protocol delivers self-sovereign privacy. It allows users to maintain a strictly verifiable public record of their domain expertise without exposing their underlying personal identity to the broader network. Together, these create three structural rules. Reputation must be domain-specific, it must be non-transferable, and it must carry economic stake. These rules form the new physics of trust. This diagram illustrates how this architecture upgrades finance using the Decentralized Autonomous Organization Investment Club, or DAOIC. Notice the central return on purchase, or ROP hub, and the non-custodial base below it. Instead of committing fiat currency, DAOIC members stake their non-fungible reputation tokens on proposed deals. When the public market co-purchases based on those expert signals, the members amplify their returns by capturing 100% of their own return on purchase, plus a 20% share of the market's return. This design uses the collective wisdom of the club to heavily hedge against investment risk. Furthermore, the club issues fungible reputation tokens tied to these returns, creating a permanent, highly liquid secondary market for the experts. The system also allows for strategic ratio adjustments over time. Members can dynamically vote to alter the minting ratios between capital and reputation, actively steering the club's decentralized governance and overall financial policy. The DAOIC effectively functions as a venture capital firm stripped of the venture capitalists. It coordinates funding through an engine powered entirely by verifiable crowd wisdom rather than hoarded fiat. This primitive scales far beyond early-stage startup funding. Reputation-weighted validation pools can replace highly centralized, decentralized finance auditing firms, and reputation staking can directly underwrite policies to replace legacy insurance models. In the technology sector, this architecture offers a way to replace brittle, human-led corporate safety boards with mathematically incorruptible governance structures for advanced AI development labs. As millions of autonomous AI agents begin executing transactions at lightning speed, native digital trust becomes a hard requirement. A mathematically incorruptible reputation primitive is the only way the machine economy survives.